This is the Brewers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Milwaukee Brewers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Everyone reaching base tonight. Everyone contributing on the offensive side of things, defensive side of things. A quality start from Jose Quintana, a couple of home runs from Christian Yelich and Brice Turang. And the Brewers, yet again, winning their 10th in a row, a 7-1 win over the Pirates in Game 1 of their 3-game series over at American Family Field. Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Locked On Brewers POSTCAST. My name is Brandon Sneide. You can follow me on X, formerly Twitter, at Brandon_Sneide, S-N-E-I-D-E, and follow all of my work over at WTMJ.com, where we cover all of our Wisconsin sports teams. As always, we are available wherever you guys get audio podcasts: Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, tons of terrific audio podcast platforms. We are free and available. And as always, thank you for making Locked On Brewers part of your day each and every day, as well as everything's over on YouTube, free and available as well. Go to YouTube, search, type in Locked On Brewers, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up on the video for me. Get notified when we go live, talking about many Brewers wins. Now 30 games over 500 is this team. It just simply is remarkable. We'll get into the start from Jose Quintana this evening. The offense for the Brew Crew, electric. We'll talk about that. 10 straight wins, 2 wins short, I should say, of those free burgers from George Webb's. We'll talk about the upcoming test this team will face in Game 2 against the Pirates. No Cubs tonight. So the Brewers now 6.5 games ahead of Chicago in the race for the National League Central Division. And as it continues to go, I do not see this team slowing down whatsoever. So we'll dive into all of that. Plus, you guys know it. It's a Brewers win. Your thoughts, your opinions, your comments, your questions. And of course, I better see your celebrations on the program as we talk about a 7-1 Brewers win. 40-20 now at American Family Field. So 20 games over is this team at American Family Field, protecting the dome there in Milwaukee. So good things happening for this Brewers team. Let's get into your scoring summary tonight, brought to you by Game Day Hue and FanDuel. Brice Turang wasting no time offensively for this team. A solo shot to center field would give the Brewers an early 1-0 advantage after Jose Quintana would shut him down in the top of the first. Nobody scoring in the second inning. In the third inning, Joey Bart hitting a home run to right field, just squeaking over the wall there in right field. And that would take us to the third inning. Nothing for the Pirates in the top half of the third. However, a different story for this Brewers team in the bottom half of the third inning.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
One of those innings where you just look back and it completely sums up what this Brewers team have been for now going on over 2 months. You begin with a Yelich home run in that third inning to center field, 395 feet. That made it 2-1. Then Andrew Vaughn with an infield single. Then Caleb Durbin with a sacrifice bunt. That would move Andrew Vaughn to second base. Then Sal Frelick would come up, who was batting 7th tonight. He would single to right field. That would score Andrew Vaughn from second. That made the score 3-1. Then Brandon Lockridge would come in. He would single to right field as well. That would score Sal Frelick. Then Joey Ortiz would have a single of his own to right field. Brandon Lockridge would then move to third base. So after that single from Joey O, you had Joey on first and Lockridge on third. Then Joey Ortiz would attempt to steal second base. He would be successful because there was a throwing error there by Joey Bart. That led to Lockridge scoring from third base after that ball scattered to the right field area. That gave the Brewers a 5-1 lead in the third inning. And ladies and gentlemen, everything that I just gave you sums up Murph ball in 1 inning of play, where the Brewers put up 4 runs on the Pirates in that third inning. And at that moment, you and I, everybody knew, even at American Family Field, watching from afar, everyone knew in that moment the Brewers were going to win their 10th straight game. That gave them a 5-1 advantage. They would tack on two more runs in the fourth, and Andrew Vaughn's sacrifice bunt would score Isaac Collins. And real quick, the unselfishness from this team, and we've talked about why this team is special and the things that they do that are special. And we talked about how they, kind of step up for other players when guys are hurt, and they're making sacrifices, on the field and off the field, and being a good teammate. Andrew Vaughn has been smacking runs in and out of American Family Field and everywhere he's played out of the ballpark, and huge hits for him to go up, for Andrew Vaughn to go up. And we talked about Andrew Vaughn, who was batting in the 5-hole this evening. Andrew Vaughn, second in the National League in runs batted in since he was called up back on July 7th, only behind Kyle Schwarber. For him to go up and put down a sacrifice bunt to score Isaac Collins when the Brewers already had a 4-run lead, that right there are the little things that this team does and consistently does that separates them from the rest. That's why there's 30 games over 500. That's why every other team in Major League Baseball is still chasing 70 wins and the Brewers have 74. It's the little things that this team does. It's the little things that I've mentioned before that give me hope and give me reason as to why this team is a very, very serious World Series team. That right there, that sacrifice bunt from Andrew Vaughn is just a fraction of the reason why this team it has been remarkable over the last 2 months and why this team is going to contend for a championship in the next few months. Then later in the 6th inning, William Contreras would single to right field. That would score once again Isaac Collins, who was on the base a handful of times, as was every single Brewer this evening at American Family Field in the 7-1 win over the Pirates. 3-1 now against Pittsburgh. They have a tough test tomorrow. Paul Skeens on the mound for Pittsburgh as the Brewers will look for win number 11. Now, a multiple 10 or more win streak this year for the Brew Crew. The only team to do that before them, 2019 Houston Astros did it, were multiple 10 or more win streaks for this team. And you go back to May, they also had 8. So they were close to a third this season. But this Brewers team, it continues to prove everybody wrong. And the power of friendship is certainly paying off with their 10th in a row, 13-1 now in their last 14 games. The best team in all of baseball. Coming up, your thoughts, your reactions, your celebrations, and the Locked On Brewers postcast player of the game. Something we haven't done yet as far as player of the game. That's coming up after this. Today's Locked On Brewers postcast is brought to you by Game Day Hue. And if you're on the live stream, this hat I am wearing also from the good folks over at Game Day Hue. And fans like me, this one hits the mark, and they make clean, no logo gear with inspired colorways for every pro and every college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game day, on the golf course, at the grocery store, or anywhere in between. And it's not just the hats, guys. Check out the split shade glove I'm wearing right now. Super comfortable, made for the golf course, or the perfect gift for the fan who simply has everything. And right now, you can get 15% off of code MLB15 at GameDayHue.com. That's GameDayHue, HUE.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals. So right now is the time for you to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GameDayHue.com. That code again, MLB15. Today's show also brought to you by FanDuel. August 26th is officially, that's coming up, guys, not too far from now. It is officially FanDuel Futures Day, a brand new holiday for football fans who live for those bold predictions and preseason hunches. For just 24 hours on August 26th, FanDuel is giving you deals on NFL season predictions. So whether you're calling your MVP, maybe it's Jordan Love, eyeing a long shot division winner, maybe it's the Green Bay Packers, or ready to crown your Super Bowl champ, maybe again the Green Bay Packers before week 1 even kicks off, right now is the moment for you. Visit FanDuel app today and start planning your futures bets right now, because Futures Day is one day and one day only. I know Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen are at the top of the board to win MVP. Jordan Love, I think, is in the top 10. So it might be not week 1 preseason, not the best showing from Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers, but they can certainly turn it around before the season begins. Once again, Futures Day, August 26th, FanDuel, play your game. A quality start from Jose Quintana. He goes 6 innings this evening, allowing just 3 hits, just the 1 earned run. The solo shot off of the bat of Joey Bart. The Brewers, 11 hits, scoring 7 runs, winning 7-1 over the Pirates at American Family Field. Brice Turang with a leadoff home run. Christian Yelich, who didn't play at all on Sunday, back in the lineup this evening at American Family Field, knocking in his 22nd home run of the year. Lots of good things happening with this team, but the player of the game today, I don't know if we've ever done this on the Locked On Brewers. Without further ado, the player of the game in a 7-1 win.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Go a different route. We're not picking one player or 2 players. Sometimes we've done 3. Today, we are going with the entire Milwaukee Brewers offense. The whole entire offense. And you heard me at the beginning of the program. Everybody reached the base this evening at American Family Field. Starter for Pittsburgh, Andrew Heaney, not his best performance, 4 innings pitched, 9 hits, 5 earned runs. Every single person that made a plate appearance tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers reached a base. Yelich, Turang, we mentioned their names, both hitting home runs. Isaac Collins, William Contreras, also Yelich, each having 2 hits and add in a fantastic performance overall from this team. And the approach for this team was simply fantastic. They were aggressive when they needed to be. They were patient when they needed to be. 11 hits over 7 innings for this team, scoring more than enough to beat the Pittsburgh Pirates at American Family Field, winning their 10th straight game, 74-44. So the entire Brewers offense this evening getting the honors for the Locked On Brewers postcast player of the game. Let's get to your thoughts, your reactions, and of course, your celebrations as the Brewers beat the Pirates, as we have mentioned, by a final tonight of 7-1 in game 1 of their 3-game series. Greg over on YouTube, what about Isaac Collins turning a double into a triple? I think that was Collins. Yes, it was down the right field line. Isaac Collins, I've made the case, and I'll continue to make the case. I don't know if there's anybody right now that is on the level where Isaac Collins is and needs to be in the discussion for National League Rookie of the Year. What that guy has done has been simply remarkable. And just when you think you've seen everything out of Isaac Collins, like we saw last night with the walk-off home run, sending the Mets home, sweeping them, then tonight he shows up at the plate, is 2 for 5, scores a couple of runs. You mentioned it, Greg, with the double, stretching it to a triple and just not giving up. Even when the Brewers were up, I think at that point they were still up 6-1 or 7-1, and the game was certainly in control. And Isaac Collins just been a fantastic addition to this team and an unselfish guy. We talked about the Andrew Vaughn, but Isaac Collins is an infielder by trade. Didn't matter. He wanted to get up to the big leagues. He wanted to make an impact for this organization. He raises his hand and goes out to left field to give Christian Yelich some time off and allow him to DH. And what do you know? Isaac Collins comes up a month later. He's the National League Rookie of the Month for the month of July and has the Player of the Week honors for the first week in August and has simply been absolutely fantastic. GCAP over on YouTube, part of our everydayers, asking, is this heaven? We should ask ourselves. No, this is Milwaukee, he says. Go Crew. This season has been magical, and I don't think we'll ever have another season like this. We're all a part of Brewer history right now. I don't think there's any question. This is the golden era of Brewers baseball, right? And the amount of playoff appearances and division titles, you know, what this team has done, as I mentioned yesterday, making the playoffs for this team isn't a celebration anymore. They're going to celebrate it because that's what you do in baseball, but it is now the standard. The standard is now the playoffs. There is no, let's try to squeak in as a wild card team and let's try to fight there all the way to the end. That has changed. The standard right now in Milwaukee, one of the smallest markets in all of baseball, one of the lower payrolls in all of baseball. You hear about what the big markets in New York and LA and what Chicago are doing as far as payroll goes. Nobody cares here in Milwaukee. We go about our business. We grab our lunch pail. We go to work. And the playoffs are now the standard. Before the season begins, the playoffs are not something they aspire to go and achieve. They're going to get there. And that's exactly what they've done now for over half a decade and what they're going to continue going forward as we approach the middle of August. 6.5 games up in the National League Central, and certainly the best team in all of baseball. Your thoughts, your reactions. Nick over on YouTube. Must be something in the water too soon. That's a little too soon there, Nick. After a lot of flooding and a lot of rain caused a lot of issues throughout the city of Milwaukee. Not a whale over on YouTube. Cubs lucky they didn't play today. Otherwise, they'd be down 7. A tough series. We mentioned that the Brewers, with their tough test coming up tomorrow night in Game 2, Freddie Peralta getting the ball for the Brew Crew. On the other end is Paul Skeens for Pittsburgh. His last outing, 4 runs in 4 innings, and that was the game where he went up against Jacob Mizorowski, who was absolutely lights out. So I don't know. I'm done. I know it's a tough test. I know I've said that a few times. I don't know if there's a tough test right now for this team because everything that's been thrown their way, they've passed with flying colors. So I'm again, Paul Skeens is 7-8 on the season, doesn't get a ton of run support. Haney tonight for Pittsburgh didn't get any run support, just the one run, the Joey Bat solo home run. I'm not betting against this Brewers team anymore the entire rest of this season. I mean, they continue to prove everybody wrong. They've proved me wrong. I mentioned back in May that they had to get it, turned around on the road. So what do they do? Now they're over 10 games over 500 on the road, 20 games over at American Family Field, multiple 10-game or more win streaks. Guys getting hurt. Sal Frelick, Jackson Chourio, doesn't matter. Christian Yelich doesn't play, doesn't matter. The Sunday lineup gets put out there, doesn't matter. They walk off the New York Mets and hit Isaac Collins hitting a home run off a pitcher that hasn't given up a run in 2 months. I'm done betting against this team. They're going to continue to prove me wrong, and I'll be happy that they're proving me wrong. So it is a tough test on paper tomorrow because Paul Skeens is one of, if not the best pitcher in all of baseball. But I'm not betting against a Pat Murphy-led Milwaukee Brewers team this season. Joe over on YouTube, 10 wins against Skeens. Then let's talk about burgers. I'm in Florida, but I will fly back for those Milwaukee burgers. They get past Skeens tomorrow, and I can guarantee you they're getting to 12. And I think they're going to get past Skeens tomorrow. I'm picking the Brewers to win that game tomorrow night at American Family Field. I think Freddie Peralta is going to have a bounce-back performance. Remember, wasn't a great outing in Game 3 against the Cubs from Freddie Peralta. So I think Freddie Peralta is going to have a much better performance against the Pittsburgh Pirates. And I think the Brewers offense will do just enough, just like they did last time they played Paul Skeens. Isaiah over on YouTube. It's too easy at this point. The only thing that stands in our way for burgers is a Skeens bump day. And again, Paul Skeens is great, but I don't have enough faith in the Pittsburgh Pirates offense to worry me about, even if the Brewers are able to put up 2 or 3 runs, 4 runs against Skeens. Remember, this is still the same Brewers team in this win streak where they only put up 3 hits and 1 on the road. So they continue to find ways to win. They come at you in so many different ways. So I think what this team is going to do tomorrow night against Paul Skeens might not be the greatest offensive performance. It might be, but it could not be. But I still think they're going to find a way to get a win. Everydayer Charles, my goodness, they do not stop Collins again. Also, low-key, nice to see Miller throw that 9th inning. He looks good and should fit beautifully with the pen. This also needs to be talked about because we mentioned it on Sunday. Even after a short start from Tobias Myers on Saturday, and it's leaving my brain on who got the start for the Brewers, Quinn Priester on Sunday, both were short starts. The Brewers didn't overuse that bullpen. On Sunday, they only used 3 total pitchers. Remember, we talked about the performance from DL Hall and what he was able to do. Today, I mean, Jose Quintana went 6 innings pitched. So shout out to Jose Quintana this evening for going 6 strong. But you only used Grant Anderson for 2 innings, and he only gave up nothing other than a walk. And then you used Shelby Miller for 1 inning where he had a strikeout and shut down the Pirates offense in the top of the 9th inning. So again, your strength of your bullpen fully rested going into a big game against Paul Skeens and the Pittsburgh Pirates if the Brewers can go for the win tomorrow, the series win. Bill over on YouTube, a Twins fan here, but I've always liked and respected the Brew Crew going back to the days of Mahler, Yount, Cooper, Rowley, Vuk, Simmons, and many others. Go and win it all. Brewers right now, I think, and I appreciate that comment, Bill. Thank you very much for tuning in. The Brewers are America's team. I don't think there's any doubt about it right now. I truly don't. Everybody right now nationally is starting to learn the names that we've kind of grown accustomed to, right? The Isaac Collins, the Andrew Vaughns, the Brandon Lockridge, the Sal Frelicks, guys that we've kind of always known. Now the world is starting to get to know who these guys are, and it's become remarkable. I think everybody outside of maybe Chicago, Minnesota right there from Bill says go Brewers. Maybe outside of Chicago, everybody in the world is probably like, I wouldn't mind to see the Brewers win. I wouldn't mind it. Outdoorsman Show says, let's go Brewers. In this 10-game win streak, the Brewers are scoring 7.7 runs per game. I love it. Yeah, and they're finding different ways to do it. They're mixing it up. Tonight they had a couple of home runs, but again, that third inning, that's manufacturing runs. There's not a better team in baseball right now that can manufacture offense like this Brewers team. And that is why I have the confidence I have in this team going forward, because they don't necessarily need 3 or 4 guys hitting home runs and hitting the long ball or waiting on that big home run from the meteor order. This team can generate runs. The third inning, as we went through, is a perfect example. A couple more comments before we get things wrapped up. Jacob, I love how every game on this 10-game win streak happened after Churio went on the IL. Means so much more when different guys step up every day. No single player is carrying their team on their back. Churio, an update on Jackson Churio looks like late August. He's right now, according to Sophia Minert from the FanDuel Sports Network, running at 65% or so, swinging a bat. Pat Murphy joking with him that maybe they don't need him. Clearly, again, he was just joking. But the Brewers, yes, have rattled off 10 straight. Churio going down in Game 3 against the Cubs there at American Family Field. And since then, this Brewers team has just obviously been on a different level. But when Jackson Churio gets back, it's going to be very, very scary for this team. Couple more comments before we get things rolling. Michael, top to bottom, Brewers have the best pitching staff in Major League Baseball. We talked about it. That was their strength. That was the Brewers' strength, and it hasn't gone away. And even when you trade away Nestor Cortez, you still got Robert Gasser on his way back. You make a trade for Shelby Miller, who has looked fantastic in a Brewer uniform since we've seen him, even before he got hurt in Arizona. His ERA now down to 1.88 is Shelby Miller. He had 10 saves prior to the trade deadline. So Shelby Miller is going to be a great piece. Matt Arnold talking about on the television broadcast, he is going to be a great piece for this team, especially in those high leverage situations. So a good win once again for this Brewers team. We wrap up with Brady saying this team is an example why chemistry and balance matters more than analytics. You got the perfect manager for the perfect city, for the perfect situation with the perfect team. And he is elevating all of it. And everybody around him is elevating their game, including Brice Turang, Isaac Collins, William Contreras. And it's fantastic to see. This Brewers team doesn't look like they're going to slow down anytime soon. They'll go for win number 11 tomorrow at American Family Field. Freddie Peralta versus Paul Skeens. My thanks to each and every one of you. Thank you for always making Locked On Brewers part of your day each and every day. Remember, we are free and available wherever you guys get audio podcasts: Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon, tons of other terrific podcast apps over on YouTube as well. Go to that search bar, type in Locked On Brewers, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, get notified when we go live, and do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button. We will go live after the last out between Skeens and Freddie Peralta tomorrow, Game 2 against the Pirates at American Family Field. Again, my thanks to each and every one of you. As always, win, lose, or draw, it is always, always go Brewers, and it certainly feels better after winning 10 in a row. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Thanks.